Right, so we found out there are 5 new corporations in Alien Earth, and that's absolutely wild. Weyland-Yutani has always been the dominant force in this franchise, the shadowy puppet master pulling the strings, forever pushing humanity deeper into the void in search of answers, or more accurately, profit. They're the reason we even know about the Xenomorphs in the first place, constantly poking and prodding at things best left alone. But now they've got competition. And not just any competition, these are corporations with their own mad agendas, their own messy visions of the future, and their own ways of ensuring they come out on top of that money-making grind. Weyland-Yutani might still be a powerhouse, but in Alien Earth, they're not the only ones trying to reshape the galaxy. What we're looking at now isn't just one company obsessed with control. It's an entire war between tech giants, each with a different vision of what humanity should become. And if history's taught us anything, it's that when corporations fight, it's never the corporations that suffer, it's everyone else. Much like today, if you ask me, the corporate landscape of Alien Earth is going to be a right brilliant mess of power-hungry giants. First, there's Weyland-Yutani, the old-school megacorp that's been lurking in the background of this franchise from day one. Think of them as a cocktail of Google, Lockheed Martin, and Amazon. All the efficiency, none of the ethics. They've got their fingers in everything from AI and synthetic humans to deep space colonization, but their real problem is that they always believe they're the smartest people in the room. They'll try to control whatever they get their hands on, be it rogue AI, alien bioweapons, or entire planets, and it'll inevitably go horribly wrong. Then there's Prodigy, who take one look at Weyland-Yutani's android obsession and say, "Nah mate, the future is us." These lot are all about cybernetic enhancements, neural integration, and merging flesh with machine to create a new breed of superhuman. Picture Neuralink, Meta, and Tesla rolled into one, but with less concern for silly little things like bodily autonomy. They see the human body as outdated tech that needs a firmware upgrade, and frankly, they're not entirely wrong. The question is whether their transhumanist dream makes them humanity's saviors, or just a slightly more polished nightmare. Lurking in the shadows, we have Lynch, the biotech syndicate that plays things close to the chest. If anyone's going to be splicing human DNA with xenomorph traits and calling it progress, it's these people. They're the secretive blend of Pfizer, DARPA, and BlackRock, working on everything from regenerative medicine to genetic hybrid soldiers, all while denying they have any connection to highly illegal, ethically dubious experiments. Spoiler, they absolutely do. While Weyland-Yutani wants to control the xenomorphs, Lynch wants to become them, or at least harness their DNA for the greater good. What could possibly go wrong? Then there's Dynamic, the arms dealers who keep the entire system running on well-funded warfare. If Weyland-Yutani's synthetic humans, Prodigy's cyborgs, and Lynch's bioengineered freaks start making traditional soldiers redundant, these people will not take it well. Picture Raytheon, SpaceX, and Boeing all mashed together, selling railguns, AI-driven war machines, and orbital defenses to anyone who can afford them. They don't care who wins this corporate arms race, so long as their stocks keep going up. But if a xenomorph infestation kicks off, well, they'll either be the only thing standing between Earth and total annihilation, or they'll cash in on the chaos and leg it with a tidy profit. Either way, you can count on them to have the best guns in the room. And then, of course, there's Threshold, the wild card, the mad visionaries who believe everyone else is playing the wrong game entirely. If Weyland-Yutani sees AI as a tool, Threshold sees it as the next stage of life itself. Their goal is the complete digitization of human consciousness, the birth of a true artificial superintelligence, and the eventual replacement of frail, outdated flesh with something far more efficient. Imagine OpenAI, Microsoft, and IBM Quantum all getting bored of making chatbots and deciding to turn themselves into actual gods. These people don't just build AI, they want to become it. Their rivals think they're dangerous, probably because they are. The real question is whether they'll create something that saves humanity or decides that we're just an inefficient part of the equation that needs deleting. So what do we have? 5 corporations all pushing humanity towards a future it might not be ready for. One lot trying to control everything, another trying to upgrade humanity itself, another dabbling in alien DNA, one selling weapons to the highest bidder, and a final group that thinks we should just ditch our bodies and live inside a supercomputer. And in the middle of all this, a xenomorph threat that doesn't care about corporate ambition, technological revolutions, or quarterly profits. While these companies fight to see whose vision will shape the future, the real question is, will humanity even have a future by the time they're done? And now, thanks to the Alien Earth trailer, we've got a whole new horror to think about, because we think we saw a xenomorph, but did we really? It's not entirely clear, is it? There's something lurking in those dark, flickering frames, something almost familiar but not quite. If this isn't just another classic xenomorph, then what the hell is it? Because if there's one thing we know about this franchise, it's that the moment corporations start playing God, something worse is always waiting in the shadows. The real question is, have these corporations finally done the unthinkable? Have they actually created a new alien entirely? Weyland-Yutani's always wanted to weaponize the xenomorph, but Lynch, they'd probably want to improve on it, maybe even mix in a bit of human DNA just to see what happens. And Threshold, if they think intelligence is the next step in evolution, what happens when you merge an alien's perfect killing instinct with their idea of self-awareness? That's a horrifying thought, isn't it? If this is a new species, what does that mean for the alien universe? Are we about to see something worse than the xenomorph, something that makes the classic nightmare look almost manageable by comparison? If so, is that a good thing? On one hand, the idea of fresh horrors is exciting. We all love a bit of eldritch terror, don't we? But on the other, there's something so perfect about the original Xenomorph. Its cold, insect-like indifference, its biomechanical terror, that messing with that formula feels risky. After all, plenty of films have tried to introduce scarier aliens, and most of them haven't quite hit the mark. So what do we think? Do we like the idea of something new, or is this messing with perfection? Has Alien Earth just introduced the next evolution of horror of the franchise? Or is it about to learn the hard way that some things are better left untouched? Let me know in the comments, because if there's one thing we all agree on, it's that messing with xenomorphs never ends well.